Hey everyone, my name is Klaude Refutation, and I will be responding to a Christian Lizzo proposition that individuals are converting to homosexuality as a result of social influences rather than genetics. My counterclaim is that homosexuality is indeed an innate trait. Let's first define innate. Innate is the characteristic existing in one from birth. Some synonyms are inborn and native. A Christian's secondary claims are that one, genetics is more unrelated to homosexuality. Two, coming out as to being gay are referred to inconsistently and occurs not when an individual is born. And three, there are many factors to influence your sexual orientation. Back to his first claim that genetics is unrelated to homosexuality. My response is that genetics is related to homosexuality, which directly negates his claim, which makes it mutually exclusive. First, he says two gay men cannot form a baby. Further that genetically the children's traits are unrelated to the traits passed by a gay couple, especially men. This connection is invalid because it does not identify the source of a child's sexuality. He also says that individuals have a baby in a hetero relationship before they come out as being gay, saying that they are influenced to being gay as to rather being genetically gay. He provides no explanation as to what precisely confirms their change of identification, and it does not address the issue whether or not they were already gay. So I believe that regardless of the choice that the individual makes for their lifestyle, the individual was already gay. In this a testimony by James C. Hormel, who was the former United States ambassador to Luxembourg, in an article to CNN, he says, "I spent the first 35 years of my life trying very hard not to be gay, to the extent that I married my college sweetheart and created a beautiful family of children with her. Hard as I tried to make that life work, I could not escape my attraction to men. Choice had nothing to do with it." So yes, it was James' choice that to be in a heterosexual relationship, and yes, it was also true that he chose to finally accept his sexuality, but that was because it had always been an innate part of him, and his futile experience to change it proves that. Scientifically, in a report released by the Academy of Science South Africa, all females have two X chromosomes, one of which is inactive or switched off in a random manner. Researchers have observed that in some mothers who have homosexual sons, there is an extreme skewing of an activation of these X chromosomes. The process is no longer random, and the same X chromosome is activated in these mothers. This suggests that a region on the X chromosome may be implicated in determining sexual orientation. The epigenetics hypothesis suggests that one develops a predisposition to homosexuality by inheriting these epi marks across generations. And now on to his claim two. He says that coming out as to being gay are referred to inconsistently and occurs not when an individual is born. My response to that is that this connection he is making to his proposition is actually irrelevant, because coming out is an action and being homosexual is an innate characteristic. One of his backup claims to this is that pedophilia is considered a sexual disorder, while homosexuality is based off of orientation. Here he makes the illegitimate comparison by equivocating pedophilia and sexual urges to homosexuality attraction. According to the pedophilia code, pedophilia is a disorder that is characterized by sexual urges to children, sometimes the gender. I looked up his source, and nowhere does it state that the pedophilia code that sexual urges to gender are included in the definition. Because actually he says that having the same sexual urges to the same gender is also defined as homosexuality. However, the American Psychiatric Association has included pedophilia in a diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorders since 1968, and on the contrary, in 1987, the APA also actually completely removed homosexuality as a mental disorder. So one cannot make the connection that homosexuality and pedophilia is similar in sexual urges. He also says that an individual can change their gender. However, individuals with the same mindset struggle with their sexual preference He says that it is easy for one to believe he or she isn't in fact male, or when in reality the individual is a female. However, this comparison is also illegitimate, because he's trying to say that transgenders decide to become a different gender as if it was a choice. However, just like homosexuality being an innate characteristic, transgenders also feel that they were innately one gender with the physical characteristics of a different gender. University of Washington psychological scientist Christina Olson and Nicholas analyzed transgender children who had been living as their identified gender in all aspects of their lives, who had not yet reached puberty. The study is a self-report measures to ask children to reflect on aspects on their genders, as well as implicit measures designed to measure the strength of their automatic gender associations. Overall, the data from the measurements indicate that the transgender children responded in a manner indistinguishable from the responses from two groups of the cisgender children, which cisgender means that a child does not feel of their opposing gender. This result supports the notion that transgender children are not confused, delayed, showing gender, atypical, responding, pretending, or oppositional. And now to his last claim, that there are many factors to influence your sexual orientation. He says that the environment of whether you live in a community that accepts homosexuality can affect an individual's decision to come out of the closet. However, being influenced in deciding to come out is not the same as your sexual orientation being influenced. It is your choice to come out, but that is irrelevant to the sexual orientation, which is innately derived. Also to point out that the Senate Bill of number 1172 actually prohibits a mental health provider from engaging in sexual orientation change efforts in California. So reorientation is actually even illegal to begin with. So one cannot make that a claim that one can be psychologically influenced by that. Also in 2001, Dr. Robert L. Spitzer, psychiatrist of Columbia University, presented a paper at the meeting of the American Psychiatric Association, explaining how by undergoing reparative therapy, gay men and women can change their sexual orientation. Spitzer had interviewed 200 allegedly former homosexual men and women that he claimed had shown varying degrees of such change. All of the participants provided Spitzer with self-support reports of their experience with the therapy. However, in 2012, he actually admits that his study contained at least two fatal flaws. That the self-reports from those he surveyed were not verifiable, and he did not include a controlled group of men and women who didn't undergo the therapy for comparison, which overall debunks that the sexual orientation from being altered by psychological influences are also not valid.
Apparently it's beat up on Christian Day here. It's our second speech talking about the same issue. I think there was a double outline that we provided, so that's why we ended up with that. That's okay. Similar arguments. Some of the analysis is the same. I thought the challenges to the reasoning are pretty solid. I appreciated the evidence that you provided on the first point. I thought that worked pretty well. I think you just get sidetracked on that last point, the Spitzer stuff that you're talking about. It's like taking you off on a tangent. It's not accomplishing anything. I don't know that that the advocate's argument in relationship to that issue was that important, and you spend a minute and a half kind of debunking it. So it seems like maybe it's a little bit overdone. And since your speech is 8 minutes and 48 seconds, it's substantially over time. And if, like we said, if we were doing a debate, we'd have cut you off a long time ago. So you're going to have to be a little bit more circumspect as to which issues that you're talking about. But I thought that you did a nice job presenting the claims that you had, challenging the argument that's being presented, and explaining your reasoning exceptions. All right. Thank you.